This is episode 3 of Road to 200. Going to be doing a back day today. Going to be doing a barbell deadlift. And I know there's the thing about, is a deadlift a back exercise or a leg exercise? My unprofessional take, it's both, but I'm going to do it on a back day because leg days are for squats. That's that's it. I'm not going to argue with you. Unless you do want to argue. In that case, drop a comment down below, talk about your opinion, and I will gladly go into the comment section and tell you that you're wrong.
He was always full of himself, but
Normally, when I want to talk about like a biblical concept, I'll write something out. You know, uh, I'll find a Bible verse that I feel like complements what I've written. But it's been a hectic couple of weeks. I got finals coming up, and I honestly just I haven't had the chance to do it. So I figured I'd take this time to, well, frankly, just talk for a bit about my experience being a Christian. Given that I've been a Christian for about, what is it? Started kind of when I was, wow, no, it's been longer since I was 12.
he got old.
Originally, I was going to say, oh, it's been like 9 years, but I started truly believing when I was about 12 years old. And so that means I'm 21. Oh, no, it is 9 years. Okay, so apparently I can't do math. It's good to know. I am someone who grew up Christian, and my mother is very devoted in her faith, tried to bring me up in the same way, but I was unnecessarily rebellious to the idea. I don't know, it just felt like the church we used to go to, it was a Baptist church, and no disrespect to them at all. They were good people in hindsight, but I don't know, I felt that the whole thing was, well, first of all, it felt boring. I'd spend like an hour and a half. It's hard to remember; it was so long ago. But I spend that time, in the Baptist church, and I just thought they were very traditional, which is it's cool. The church doesn't have to be this grand circus with bells and whistles to get you through the door and keep your attention span. No, no, that's not the point of church. But to me, again, a child, I don't know. I was bored by the whole thing, and since I was bored, I didn't pay attention. I don't know. Maybe if I had paid attention to the pastor's sermon, maybe things would have gone. I would have made so many mistakes, but irregardless, the second thing that really, really didn't make me want to, be a Christian was the fact that I felt like it was almost like school. Our church had like a program. It started with what was it? It's like in multiple churches. It's like an organization. It starts with like an A. I'm blanking on the name. The point is, uh, they had that thing, and they meet like once, maybe. No, 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 not twice a week. Definitely just once a week, and it felt like school. I'd had to go there. I had to sit down. I had to take notes. I had to memorize things. I had to show that I'd memorized these things, and obviously, these things being like verses and scripture and stuff. And again, it just felt like school. It felt like I was being forced to do it. It continued that way for a while, all throughout elementary school, and then went on to middle school. I grew out of that program thing, and I felt like it was boring. I felt like I didn't need it. I could figure things out on myself. I could be my own man at I was sixth grade, so like what, 10, 11 years old, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? So long ago, ancient history, honestly. And when I was around 12, I went through, we're going to call it a rough patch. I'm not going to get into too many details. It's only the third episode. I'm not going to lay down the real heavy stuff just yet. I don't want to freak you out. So I'll just say that I went through a particularly tough rough patch. Through that, I reached almost a, I wouldn't necessarily say a breaking point, but I reached a point where I truly felt like I needed something more. I felt like my faith was something that I was denying for so long. And I figured, at the time, I felt like I had nothing to lose embracing my faith. I started to take it a little more seriously. I started to try and read my Bible more. I started, my family, we had left that Baptist church for a while. We found a new church. We started going there. Eventually, we transitioned to the church I'm currently going to, and the church I've been at for total 6 years. I've been with the church I'm currently at, and I can honestly say it. I've made this point before, and I don't know. I'm not a parent. I don't think I'll ever be a parent, but I don't really know if what I'm about to say is correct. But in my own experience, I found that this has worked better for me. And it's that it's one thing to force a kid to be a Christian, but it's kind of a decision that they have to come to that kind of decision on their own. You can't just force them to do it, because then they're doing it because they have to, and that's not having faith. That's not the essence of being a Christian. The essence of being a Christian is God gave us free will, and with that free will, we are choosing to reject the ways of the world, take up our cross, and follow the Lord. That is what being a Christian. It's that we have free will and we are consciously making that choice. We're not doing it. We're not trying to ride our parents, our grandparents, our friends' coattails into heaven. We're putting in our own work. We're trying the fruits of our labor should be something that glorifies God and advances our kingdom. And all that comes from making the choice to follow Christ, not just doing it because, it's the way you were raised, and you feel like you have to. And I'm not saying like parents should be like completely hands off of trying to get their kids to, just follow the faith. Just, obviously they should be encouraging them. They should be good role models as well. God bless my mother. I really don't think, in hindsight, that she tried to force me at all. And that's not to say she was hands off either. She was an excellent example of the strength you can find through Christ. She's endured a lot in her life, but just seeing how she's stuck to her faith and how, God has carried her through so many rough seasons of life. It's inspiring. Let that be kind of the overall point. Your faith in Christ, your walk as a Christian, it's not something you're forced to do. It's a it's a choice. You have a choice. You live in the ways of the world or you follow Christ. You have free will to make that choice, but as someone who's made the choice to follow Christ, and for a time went back and made a choice to follow the world, that's another story for another time. I've been on both sides of the fence, and I can tell you, walking with Christ will trump anything worldly every time. So this is 215 pounds going for the barbell deadlift. Uh, Last time I did this, I got about a set and a half in. As you know, I go for the 8 to 12 rep range. So, in the warm up, felt it. Lord knows I felt it. So, actually, you know what? Positive mindset, y'all. Lightweight, baby. Wow, that is a lot. One more. One more. I did it. Well, that was. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So on this channel, you've heard me talk about football. You've heard me talk about comic and pop culture stuff. But another major interest of mine is professional wrestling. You know, the WWE kind, not the singlet kind. Although we do have singlets in our pro wrestling. Now, all in all, is pro wrestling at its core just grown men in spandex yelling at each other and then kind of sort of hitting each other? I can understand why you think that. I actually did train as a pro wrestler, for about 4 months last year, and if I'm being honest, those were some of the best, times I can remember as of late. Learning the ins and outs of the business, taking the bumps. Actually, the school I went to, the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, they have two professional wrestling companies, associated with each other, and they do shows, and they have the students work security. We'll set up everything, we'll set up the ring and all that. We're essentially ring crew, and working ring crew is honestly, it's genuinely one of my favorite things. I love it. And working security for the show, I love it. I love everything about pro wrestling. If I'm being honest, it's an industry that combines so many things that people don't realize. Stunt work, theatrics, creative storytelling, acting, the physicality of a combat sport too. Just because the matches are predetermined doesn't mean those bumps don't hurt. Those men and women really do. They really do put their bodies on the line for our entertainment, and we shouldn't be grateful for that. Granted, I did run out of money, which is why I'm not there right now, but I'm hoping this channel can not only document everything I'm doing, but hopefully on this channel I can document my return to the pro wrestling industry. It's been a huge passion of mine. It's been a dream of mine since I was in middle school to, maybe be a wrestler, or maybe I'm not going to limit myself to wrestler. If all in all, if things don't work out being a wrestler, I'd love to be a manager, color commentator, just in the back, working production, whatever I can, honestly. I love the industry. I love professional wrestling. Okay. I've somewhat recovered enough to be able to feel confident enough to at least try a set two. I think last time I went 6 reps. Last time I tried to do a second set, but you know what? Trying to do more, like I said before, trying to do more positive mentality stuff. All that hippie nonsense. We got this. As great Ronnie Coleman would say, Lightwork, baby. Oh boy. Oh boy. God, come on. We will now briefly cut until after I regain consciousness. Oh, can't delay the inevitable. Gonna go for the third set. It is that second set really took a lot out of me, as you saw. But you know what? I'm gonna just go give it my all. Try and leave a little bit of gas in the tank for the rest of my workout. But here we got it. I was gonna say Lightwork baby again, but I don't want to come with my own catchphrase. Not that I want this channel to be that gimmicky, but should I have a catchphrase? For anyone watching, drop a comment down below. What should the Midnight Mania equivalent of Lightwork baby be? But until I find a suitable replacement, Lightwork baby. It's times like this where I realize I really do need a white belt. Come on.
Well, he's gonna die.
No. Come on. Dang it!
That's gotta hurt.
Ow. Oh gosh. That could have gone better. Trying to find some good words so I can get out of this position because, oh wow, I need to check on my back. I'm probably fine. Okay, I'm not gonna lean all the way back. Did tweak my back a little bit on those deadlifts. I take full responsibility for that, obviously. You know, I don't think the form was all there. I was trying to just get quick reps, just trying to get it up and down, not really focusing on, you'll see in the video, like I even like just like let the weights slam down. I didn't try and control the descent, which something I really need to get better at, especially with deadlifts. But should probably look into getting a weight belt. I think that might also help just stabilizing my back when I'm doing deadlifts. But I don't really have much to say except it is a beautiful fall afternoon. I'm actually gonna go out with some friends right now. Actually, I say go out. We're gonna stay in, and one of my friends has actually been showing me a show called Severance. It is, ooh, wow, it is. To summarize it in one word, I've only seen like I think like what 3 episodes ish. To summarize it all in one word, it is eerie. Like it's like it has you like on edge. Like you're watching the whole show, and it's like the whole time you're just feeling like, oh, something's not right here. It's kind of weird. That is the entire show. The concept of the severed mind. The acting as well. Adam Scott does a really good job in that show. There's a bunch of really good actors in there whose names I can't remember. Christopher Walken's in it. Just sure, why not? Throw Christopher Walken in there.
Put your hands up. No.
Guess I'll leave it here. If you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. I I really do appreciate it, you know? At the very least, I hope you either learned something or you were at least entertained for a little bit. I know this vlog might be a little shorter than usual, but at the end of the day, I hope you were entertained at the very least. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.